So I had to put in my age for Call of Duty for some odd reason. I never had to do that before. And once I put in my age, it gives me this message. Notice, communication disabled. Public communication have been disabled for all Call of Duty games. Certain age groups are required to have limited access to public communication to Call of Duty. This requirement will help us ensure positive community experience for all players. Please note, a banned message might appear when you're launching certain games. Does Call of Duty not know their audience?
Shut the fuck up, you can't even buy cigarettes, fat bitch.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Your name is fucking Merkin. Get out of
You're
here.
a Ruby. Your name is Ruby.
There are some 13-year-olds who just go on here and scream the N-word. Well, I'm gonna try to play and see what happens. Alright, so for the past few videos, I've been suffering more and more audio problems. And it doesn't have to do anything with not recording audio, it's with audio not being in sync. Now, I've said this in past videos, but what the recording software or the recording softwares I use is OBS and NVIDIA GeForce Screen Recorder. I don't know what the technical name is called, but basically what I'm using to screen record or to capture my gameplay is NVIDIA GeForce Screen Recorder. And what will happen is that the thing will freeze. You've probably seen this in the past video, and I just labeled it like, hey, the audio will be out of sync from this period on. Basically, the footage will freeze, and then everything will be out of sync, like a few seconds or so. And there is nothing I can do to fix it. And to be honest, it might happen in this video again. Well, Gabriel, your prediction was right, because the audio and video are out of sync again for the gameplay. NVIDIA, I don't know what the fuck your software is on, but please fix your shit, because I am tired of having to resync audio over and over and over again. So I'm sorry if there's going to be a few bits in these videos that are going to have, you know, slight bits of audio that are not in sync with the gameplay. I'm trying to fix it as best as I can, but yeah. NVIDIA, please fix your software or something, because this shit cannot keep on happening. And to be honest, it might happen again in this video. Who knows? Because it's really unexpected. I really can't do anything about it. I have to go into Sony Vegas and then resync the footage, and it's so fucking annoying.
You're mine. Wasted.
Take a Bravo underway. Bravo done.
Oh my god. But dude, shit used to be so much simpler. Well, slightly simpler, not hugely. Simple enough to where shit like this didn't happen, where audio was out of sync. Maybe my face cam was out of sync with the gameplay, but other than that, it was really simple on how I used to do things back in the day. I used to use this thing called the Xbox Companion app and used to stream my Xbox gameplay to my computer, and basically everything will be in one recording. It's not like in separate where the webcam is separate and the gameplay is separate. Everything was just all in together. So it was really hard to get, you know, different audios and everything, where I could just get gameplay on audio and my audio. My internet is very slow and still is. So there would just be all these artifacting and just very glitchy like streaming effect. Then I finally got a flash drive for my Xbox, and then I was able to record up to an hour of footage. What the fuck was that? And that was a massive improvement, by the way, was just being able to record an hour of footage without, you know, having to stream it on my computer. Because that's how I was able to make all those Rebirth Chaos videos, was just through that flash drive, thank God. And then I was just able to put it into my computer and edit it from there. But there would be some times where the footage on the flash drive would just get corrupted. It was very rare that would happen, that if I recorded anything onto a flash drive that it would get, you know, corrupted. That would be very rare if I actually recorded something and anything on the flash drive would get corrupted. I remember that happened to an entire Rebirth Chaos, and I wasn't able to upload it because the file was corrupted. So yeah, that was the second way I recorded, and now the way I record is the way I record now is with, you know, NVIDIA screen capture and OBS. That skin is so fucking ugly, I swear. Literally the most fucking ugliest skin I have ever seen in Call of Duty history. But there are still things that plague me to this day with content creation. The number one thing is Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is, I have a love-hate relationship with this damn editing software. I get it, there's better editing softwares out there that you can edit a bunch of videos with, like Adobe Premiere. Actually no, Adobe Premiere I've heard is absolutely ass. DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, all those editing softwares, they're great and everything, but I use Sony Vegas because that's the most common type of, I guess, commentary YouTuber editing software that people use. But goddamn, does this fucking editing software just crash so many times. Now, I use a pirated version of Sony Vegas 15 to be exact. No matter how much you upgrade your computer, Sony Vegas is always going to crash. You can literally have a 5090 in your damn computer, have like 128 gigabytes of RAM, 10 terabytes of hard drive storage, and yet you can still make Sony Vegas crash somehow. I bet you if you had a fucking supercomputer from NASA that Sony Vegas would still crash. Okay, but Sony Vegas was such an upgrade from my last editing software. To give you an example, I used to edit on Windows Movie Maker, and I still use Windows Movie Maker to this day, like the actual original Windows Movie Maker. To make incompatible clips with Sony Vegas work with Sony Vegas, I just use Windows Movie Maker to render out the incompatible clips. Because all my iPhone footage, the footage that comes from my iPhone is unable to get imported into my Sony Vegas timeline. But now I found an easier way to do it, which is just called handbraking it. If you guys don't know what handbrake is, it's basically like this software that allows you to change the file format of any video that you have. So say if you have like a .mp4 file, you can change it into like a .mov file, which is what Apple uses. But for my case, for Sony Vegas, I have to use MOV to MP4. He just got a triple. But my original editing software was iMovie on my old iPod Touch. Back when I was doing smashing videos, just smashing random electronics, I used to edit on iMovie, and that's how I would do all my editing software, and I would use Google Drive to transfer all the files and everything to my mom's computer before I even had my own computer. It was the worst thing I have ever done in my life. I am thankful every single day that I am able to edit all these videos in a way where it is more streamlined, because you don't know how difficult it was just transferring files, and you know how Google Drive has like a file limit. So if the file was too big, I would have to cut it up into pieces and then splice them back together in Movie Maker, and then the quality would just be absolutely terrible. And that was before the YouTube compression would take over. And this is a perfect example of the, work with what you have, because even though I didn't, have the best setup, I was still able to make do with what I had, with just an iPod Touch and a Google Drive account. My game just completely was just fucking up right there. So if anyone who thinks they can't do content creation with the equipment they have, I'm telling you right now, you are wrong. There are millions, and I mean millions, of editing software packages out there that are completely free. I bet I can make the same videos I'm making right now on iMovie. Okay, if I had a flash drive, if I had, a webcam, and you don't even really need a webcam, you can just use your phone as a webcam. I know some people who do that. Try making videos for yourself and just, see what you can make out of anything. Anyway, guys, see you guys later. Bye, 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 bye.